COVID-19 resurgence. Healthcare system on the brink. COVID-19, the nightmare that once shook the world, has returned to China in 2025 with unprecedented destruction. Since March, the sixth wave of the pandemic has pushed hospitals in Beijing, Tangshan, and other major cities into severe overcrowding. At Beijing Xi'an Hospital, corridors are packed with patients suffering from high fevers, sore throats, and relentless coughing, a Tangshan eyewitness told the Epoch Times. Hospitals look like marketplaces. Beds are full and medical staff are exhausted. Reports show a surge in cases, especially among the elderly, putting the healthcare system on the verge of collapse. The situation is worsened by crumbling medical infrastructure. In Tianjin, patients line up outdoors in early summer's chill, waiting hours for tests. Social media videos, swiftly censored, reveal chaotic scenes of jammed ambulances and panicked crowds. In Tangshan, crematoriums reportedly run non-stop to handle a spike in deaths, fueling fears of a full-blown health crisis. The CCP's lack of transparency deepens public unease, with posts on Weibo vanishing within hours. If China can't contain this outbreak, could the world face another pandemic? Memories of 2020 linger, making this crisis a global wake-up call. BYD and the EV industry. The green dream in ruins. China once boasted about BYD, the electric vehicle titan seen as Tesla's rival, poised to lead the global green revolution. But in 2025, that dream is shattered. Two major BYD dealership groups, Changchang in Shandong and Xingqi in Liaoning, have collapsed, leaving thousands of customers enraged. Chinese social media is flooded with furious posts. A BYD Un+ owner shared on Chevy.com that he was coerced into buying 120,000 yuan in insurance with promises of lifetime maintenance, only to find his dealership closed. When he confronted a 4S store, staff called the police to escort him out. The root cause? BYD forced dealers to clear massive inventories, 51.89 billion yuan in 2024, up 70% from prior years. Dealers had to sell at a loss with 4–5% discounts, slashing per-car profits below 3,000 yuan. A salesperson, Li Ming, told Zhu that BYD's wholesale model was a ticking time bomb. Dealers mortgaged vehicle titles for bank loans, but when cash flows broke, customers who paid in full were left without legal ownership. BYD's collapse isn't just China's story. It raises questions about the global EV industry's future and Tesla's opportunity to dominate the tech race. Hangzhou. From tech paradise to ghost city. Hangzhou, once hailed as China's Silicon Valley, is now a grim shadow of its past. Home to Alibaba and a booming e-commerce live streaming scene, it once drew millions of young dreamers. But in 2025, Hangzhou feels like a ghost city. Industrial parks stand empty, offices are deserted, and rental prices have plummeted to an unthinkable 24 yuan per square meter. In a city that once led China's economy, at Hangzhou's train station, hundreds of jobless people clutch suitcases, unsure where to go. A former Alibaba employee shared, "2 years ago this place sparkled with lights. Now, entire buildings are dark." The job market in Hangzhou is a nightmare. Over 1 million people have lost jobs, from tech workers to live streamers. Those who once earned 500 yuan an hour now scrape by on 80 yuan if lucky. A 36-year-old graduate said, "I came here to build a future, but now I'm just trying to survive." A viral social media post quipped, "The fastest way to fail in 2025? Go to Hangzhou looking for work." Hangzhou's fall is the starkest proof of China's economic decline. If a tech hub this big can collapse, what's next for the rest of the country? Debt crisis. The burden crushing China's dreams. If Hangzhou symbolizes economic collapse, the debt crisis is its root. In 2025, China's total debt exceeds $53 trillion, 0 cents, over 3 times its annual GDP. It's like owing 3 years' salary with no way to pay. The CCP's grandiose projects, from high-speed trains to real estate, are now financial black holes. The high-speed rail network, spanning over 48,000 km and once a national pride, drowns in $2.5 trillion, 0 cents of debt. Routes in places like Gansu run near empty, losing $10, 0 cents, 20 billion annually. The real estate sector is even more catastrophic. Giants like Evergrande and Country Garden, with debts of $300 billion, 0 cents, and $190 billion, 0 cents, respectively, have left millions of unfinished apartments. Ghost cities sprout nationwide, with 60–80 million empty homes, enough to house Canada's population twice. Local governments, reliant on land sales for 40% of their budgets, owe $9 trillion, 0 cents with no revenue. The CCP's fixes, issuing $68 billion, 0 cents, in special bonds and buying unsold homes, are like putting a Band-Aid on a broken leg. Corruption worsens the mess. Former Railway Minister Liu Zhijun's $700 million, 0 cents, embezzlement scandal is a prime example. For Americans, this isn't just China's problem. It threatens global supply chains, from iPhones to car parts, and could trigger a worldwide financial crisis. Natural disasters and food security, a parched breadbasket. While cities decay, China's countryside is battered by nature. In 2025, droughts and floods strike relentlessly. Henan, China's breadbasket, was scorched by a record 42.9 DEGC in Zhengzhou in May, the highest ever. Cracked fields yielded just 50 kg of wheat per mu, not enough to break even. A 70-year-old Luoyang farmer sighed, "This isn't farming, it's gambling with the sky." In Gansu, 3 rainless months turned fertile land into desert, the worst drought in 2 decades. Then floods hit. In Guangxi, a key rice and sugarcane region, severe drought gave way to deadly floods in May. In 2 hours, 140 mm of rain submerged Xi'an town, sweeping away cars and collapsing 10 bridges. Weibo videos showed villagers tying vehicles to trees to save them. The $70 billion 0 cents south to north water diversion project worsened things, draining southern reservoirs to supply Beijing while abandoning farmers. This food crisis doesn't just threaten China, it's spiking global grain prices, hitting American grocery stores. Social unrest, the roar of rage. Across China, people are rising up. In major cities, protests erupt with chants of "We want freedom," an unprecedented challenge to the CCP. In Hangzhou, jobless workers flood social media with heart-wrenching stories of unpaid wages and broken dreams. In Guangxi, farmers hold rain prayer rituals, quietly defying the CCP's atheist policies. In Shandong, BYD customers organize online, demanding justice from the carmaker. These aren't isolated incidents, they signal a society on the edge. The CCP responds with crackdowns and censorship. Police clash with protesters in Wuhan, where retirees oppose healthcare cuts. Videos of floods and hospital chaos vanish from social media within hours. Yet anger simmers. A Hangzhou resident wrote, 10 people fighting over 2 bowls of rice? Of course, some will starve. This is a lesson in what happens when a regime prioritizes control over solutions. A warning for any society that values freedom. Global impact. China's crisis isn't just a domestic tragedy, it's a global earthquake. As the world's manufacturing hub, China's economic collapse threatens supply chains, from smartphones to car parts. BYD's failure could let Tesla dominate EVs but disrupt the global green industry. Food shortages from Chinese ravaged fields could spike U.S. grocery prices. The COVID-19 resurgence risks another global health crisis, especially given the CCP's opacity. The debt crisis is even scarier. With $53 trillion, 0 cents in debt, a Chinese financial collapse could ripple to Wall Street, where U.S. pension funds hold Chinese bonds. Nations like Australia and Brazil, reliant on China's raw material demand, will suffer. The CCP's push to export cheap EVs and batteries, despite domestic chaos, is escalating trade tensions with the U.S., where President Trump's tariffs are hitting hard. If China devalues the yuan to compete, a global trade war could erupt. Conclusion: China at a crossroads. In 2025, China teeters on the brink. From hospitals overwhelmed by COVID-19 to shuttered BYD dealerships, from empty towers in Hangzhou to parched fields in Henan, the CCP is losing its grip. Will they double down on repression, or will public anger force change? Only time will tell, but one thing is clear. China's 2025 crisis is a wake-up call for the world. What do you think? Will China's collapse threaten the globe? Or is it an opportunity for America to lead? Share your thoughts in the comments, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications for the latest updates. Share this report to spread the truth, because China's story matters to us all. Thank you for following.